Greetings and welcome back to yet another episode of the Daily Run, and today we are playing as the Lost, on a very special daily. And you might be wondering, what is so special about this daily? Well, you might look at the character and see, okay, there's nothing too weird about that, we're playing as the Lost. Might be looking at the goal and you see, okay, it's Mega Satan hard mode. That happens sometimes, so that's not too weird. Well, this daily doesn't have any item rooms, and you might be wondering, we are playing as one of the hardest characters in the game, and we have no item rooms, what the hell? And that's exactly right, if we don't have item rooms, so you can imagine just how difficult things are gonna get for us, at least from this point forward, because every floor which doesn't have an item room essentially sets us back at least one item. And I know, most of the benefits or damage ups or just in general powers not really come from item rooms, but they definitely help early on with just your general survivability. So I think when you look at this daily, you see a weak daily, but what I think more so than a weak daily is a daily that focuses on endurance, because we do have a lot of defensive options to kind of keep us afloat. And not only do we have flight, we also have spectral tears, and not only that, we also have holy mantle. So we can really abuse or use those powers together to really not be too big of a disadvantage, even if we don't get maybe powerful items or maybe defensive items which would allow us to really steamroll through enemies, which is obviously what we want to happen. But because we don't have item rooms, we really have less opportunities or less chances to do so. It's not impossible in any means. I don't think item rooms are a very integral part to the game, or at least integral part into making you into a powerful character or maybe a powerful run. But what they are important for is just kind of giving you that extra bit of oomph, I guess, to kind of keep you going. The majority of our power will come from the devil deals, and because we are the Lost, those are at least free. And this starts out very well with just getting 9 lives in this case, which means we can kind of afford to make mistakes and get hit multiple times. 9 times because we have 9 lives. Which means that we are not too worried about maybe dying in any particular room, except, for the damage penalty. But because we can only get hit 9 times maximum, and in reality it's going to be much lower if we win the run, then, damage penalty just isn't too big of a deal here, because at most it'll be around maybe 1,000 points. But yeah, because we don't have the luxury of getting those powerful items, or have less chances of getting those powerful items, we are kind of the mercy of getting some really good devil deals and really just abusing, or not abusing, but using the game to the fullest advantage, which means that I gave up the point of trying to catch boss rush or hush, because I don't think this is feasible at all unless I really use a lot of bombs or I really rush to the game. And I don't like rushing through the game. Anyone who's watched me a few times will notice that I am more of a meticulous player who just takes his time. I don't really like going for boss rush. I really like just exploring everything and then, making my decisions at the end of the floor. But the situation we're kind of stuck in here is I think, forces us to do that. I don't doubt that there are some players who will do both boss rush and hush. I'm not sure how, but kudos to them, because it was 15 minutes at this point in the game already. 15 minutes and we're only on the 3rd floor. So yeah, you might be wondering, things are getting pretty crazy here. Thankfully, a sign of hope appears with the red candle, and I think if you find the shop earlier, you can actually make a good point into making a rush for boss rush or hush, because the red candle is an excellent item that really helps with DPS. I think if you just use the red candle until the end of the game, it's more than possible to actually beat it. Even going to the dark room, even beating Mega Satan, if you use it well, and of course, I'm not just saying that the item alone will just win you the game. I'm just saying if you play well, still dodge well, and kind of use the things you have to your advantage. Red candle is a very significant damage dealer, and you can do so many things with it. And not just the red candle, the blue candle as well. They are one of the best items you can hope to get in order to really boost your run very fast, as a temporary fix until maybe you can start getting some really good items. But sadly, we don't have those good items for us, so we just kind of have to make do with what we have, and hopefully it'll be enough. But yeah, you can see that I'm very explorative in this game. I'm really just trying to do my best to go through every room, to find every secret rooms, etc., and use the red candle, of course, to the greatest potential. So our shop had the blank card, which is a very interesting prospect, and I think like there was a hard decision to be made here. Do we just go with the red candle and just kind of rely on that as our damage, or do we take the blank card? The blank card obviously has a lot of options for us. We got the Alga's rune, which gives us a shield every 4 rooms or every charge for like 30 seconds, which means that we can probably beat any boss or maybe even any room without ever endangering ourselves. It also allows us to play the blood banks, which is obviously great for the track points. And if we do ever get Yara, we have the opportunity to break the run, or just get a lot of points. But the situation we are in now is still so very dire. We don't really have enough damage to sustain us. Who's to say that we can even get through 4 rooms to actually get the next charge? But what pushed me over was the sack head. And the sack head, what it does, it changes your consumables to sacks sometimes, and those sacks actually contain a large amount of batteries, which means that if we play well, optimize our usage, we can actually have a shield pretty much every room, and that's obviously very helpful. And not only that, we also have the Head of the Keeper, which shoots coins, or has a chance to shoot, has a chance to spawn coins when you shoot the enemies. It also coincidentally has a chance to spawn sacks and then of course spawn batteries, which means that if we're in a room with a boss and we have to shoot him a few times or a lot of times, chances are we are going to get a battery in the same room where the boss is, which means we will be able to use our shield multiple times. So that kind of sold me on the idea that this is the right choice, and of course the possibility of breaking the game and just getting a lot of points. So I decided to stick with blank card and kind of toss the red candle away, because I didn't really think it was that useful in that point in time. But as we go forward, I think that blank card will just get more and more uses. Getting those 2 of cards will allow us to duplicate our consumables, getting Gyro runes will allow us to break the game, and of course if we just have the Alga's rune, we already have so many possibilities that it's kind of crazy. And yeah, like I said, the thing that swayed me was the ability for us to get a lot of battery charges, and you can see me using it to the greatest advantage I can. And thankfully we still have some ways of dealing damage that are not just our tears, via the Dry Baby, which if it gets hit it explodes, not explodes, but deals damage to every enemy in the room. We also have the Rotten Baby, which shoots flies. So all of those things are very useful. So at this point, I think the only thing that's kind of missing from this being an actually good run is just an orbital, which we can use to actually deal some passive damage. And like I said, the boss rush wasn't really a primary reason for me, but if I did get this combo sooner, and that means that we should have played faster, because but you never bank on getting a super powerful combo. Whenever you're kind of playing through the daily, because it's very easy to miss, but also you just can't wage your chances on getting super powerful, because that is just not how you win the game. You just have to make the best decisions in the moment with the information you have. So of course, if I knew that we were going to get this combo, what I could have done is just rush to the early parts of the game, not miss on too much, and get the boss rush and beat it in a very reasonable amount of time, because we are just invincible, for the whole duration of it, and it will also give us charges and algaes. So, there are things to be considered. Right, of course, because we have the sack, or the Head of the Keeper, it also means that we would be doing very well against Hush, because Hush takes a lot of shots, and because when we would be shooting Hush, we would actually spawn coins, and those coins could be sacks, and those sacks could have batteries in them, which means that we would be perma-invincible. So that's obviously very good if you're the Lost. You can really do a lot of things here. But also there are so many other ways you could go here. You can stick with the red candle and use that as your defense and offense, or you can stick with a d4 and re-roll yourself a bunch of times until you get some really nice things going. But I think that we made a very sensible choice into playing slowly at the start, and when we actually got this very powerful combo of like 5 items, then we started kind of getting out of control. It's funny to know, because if I did play this daily again, what would happen is I would obviously, I think, get so much more score, just because I know this little fact that I can actually afford to kind of skip a few rooms early on. But that's true for any daily. When you have info, or if you have info somehow, then you can. Or when you replay it, you can start making some really more optimal choices. One thing that kind of, well, not screws me over, but that would also help the fact that we are kind of rushing through the game, is the fact that this and the last floor were both XL floors, which means that while there are a lot of rooms in a floor, when you find a boss, you know you found the second boss too. So on average, you're gonna spend less time actually searching for the boss and beating it than if you just had two separate floors. So for that reason, you know, that's also an added benefit that we could have used to actually go and beat both Hush and Boss Rush in at the same time. So here we have a very difficult decision, and it might not seem like a difficult decision just because, you know, why wouldn't I take Mom's Knife? Obviously it's a very good item, and it's exactly what we need because we don't have damage, we don't have tears up. So what are we gonna do, you know? Okay, we'll take Mom's Knife. I decided to do it because, after all, we still have our combination. But you might be wondering, why was I even hesitating at this point? Well, I was hesitating because when we get to the Dark Room, we will really have no way to spawn consumables anymore. The only way to spawn consumables and, you know, get a chance at getting a Yarrow rune maybe, or just even battery charges from our sacks, is going to be our tiers. The tiers, of course, that shoot the coins, and then the coins have a chance of becoming the sacks, which then contain battery charges. And because I feel we would be a lot safer if we didn't take Mom's Knife, but at the same time, you know, Mom's Knife is a strong item on its own. So I really think it's a toss-up. I mean, score-wise, it's definitely better not to take Mom's Knife, because the Mom's Knife will not spawn coins like regular tiers will. But it also means that, because we can't have coins, it means we can use our blank card multiple times per floor, I mean multiple times per room. So we're in this very odd position where Mom's Knife, well, it's a very good item, something that we really need. It's also an item that if we want more points or just, you know, maybe feel safer, is an item that we don't want to take. I still decided to do it because I think the damage of Mom's Knife is too good to pass up. And I felt like just having the Holy Mantle is enough for us to kind of be safe throughout these rooms. And thankfully, because I was really on edge and, you know, I was kind of panicking a bit, I guess, too, because I did not have any battery charges. I did only get hit once at most in any room, and, you know, we still have 9 lives, so even if we fail and die, we can always go back to the previous room and then just go to Mega Satan and just don't worry about it. So you know, that made my decision maybe a bit easier, but of course, I think if we didn't have 9 lives, things would be different. But yeah, as it is, I'm glad that this was the decision I made, because, like I said, not in any room did I get hit more than one time, and against Mega Satan, we have 2 charges of Algis. So one is our blank card, and then the second one is our actual Algis rune. And because that is the last room, of course, we are going to use it. There's no need to save it anymore. So at this point, you know, we're just trying to maximize our exploration. And again, there's a possibility I missed a room somewhere. I don't think I did, because I think I went through everyone. But if I did, you know, maybe that was the room that contained the Yarrow rune. And, you know, the Yarrow rune would then help us just to get a ludicrous amount of points. But even still, you know, I think I explored enough, and the fact that as the Lost, with no item rooms, we were even able to complete the game, I think is noteworthy in itself. The fact that we were actually even able to construct a good run out of, I think, very suboptimal items is a good sign that we are doing at least something right. So here is my first try against Mega Satan, and because we have Mom's Knife, we really don't have much to worry about. What I worry about against Mega Satan sometimes is his giant brimstone attack, which he does when he shoots you in the forward, but so we just kind of have to stay to the side. But that's really no problem, because, like I said, if we feel like we're in danger, what I do is just pop the blank card. So here I actually just wanted to pop the blank card and get that shield, but what happened, that spawned right on top of me and it killed me, because I accidentally got hit once. I mean, I bumped into Mega Satan's hand, and that got me. But yeah, the second time around, things go just a bit better. I didn't get hit, for starters, against Mega Satan, and I have this, I still have both my blank card and both my Algis rune to use later on in the fight. You might be wondering, you know, like, the fight is relatively long, but, you know, we have 2 runes, so why not just use it immediately? Well, there's no real reason to use it immediately. At least, you know, we might get hit once against it. I decided to pop it here because I felt like it was gonna be enough time, but one thing I forgot was Super Envy is here, and Super Envy is just so super annoying to fight against if you just have Mom's Knife, because your hitbox is so small, because he splits up in so many little things. You know, we just waste like half of our charge just on that one enemy, so I should have really killed Super Envy first and then popped it, but doesn't matter. We still have one more rune out of it, and at this point we're only fighting the angels, and of course just single target opponents are super simple to deal with when you have Mom's Knife. Those ones that split, those ones get annoying, but yeah, enemies like angels are really no problem. 3 or 4 throws and that's it for the first one, and the second one comes in. And while he's a bit more annoying and has a lot more HP, we're still able to deal with him in somewhat optimal manner, because we do have all these goodies with us that kind of just make this job easy. I think 5, 6, 7 throws or something like that, and he's dead. So now the only thing left is Mega Satan and his second part, and I decided to use my second Algis rune here to get my shield up, and, you know, just basically poke him in the face with my little knife. And we broke the 1 hour mark on this run, so this is really a testament as to just how slow of a player I am. But you know, whatever, like, what's important, I think that we did play well, we did only die or get hit twice, I guess. And the fact that we had Holy Metal really saved us in a lot of places. So even though this run was very terrible, it turned out very well, I think. We did rank 28th, which is, if you take out the hackers, probably again something like in the top 10, maybe top 15. And our exploration bonus looking somewhat good, our Shrek bonus also somewhat good, and we did get the Mega Satan bonus as well, just for beating him. So the fact that we were able to actually finish a run on a run that didn't really look that good is super good, and the fact that I'm sick also makes this more impressive. Just the last few runs were so good. I think I should get sick more often, because it's obviously helping me, at least against, at least in the Isaac Daily videos. So yeah guys, with that said, thank you for watching, and I hope to see you next time.